This is part 2 of my trip to the Outer Hebrides itself, part of a 29-day trip bikepacking around Scotland. Here, this is all my footage from Harris and Lewis, starting off after making the ferry crossing from North Oost and going up and then over to Callanish, and then from Callanish heading over to Stornoway to get the ferry back to Ullapool, where I will continue the journey in the next set of videos. Lots of different weather, and this starts out a beautiful sunny day on Harris, and then the following morning predicted rain rolls in, and it's quite wet by the end of it. Decided to shoot a bit of video in the rain just so you can get the full experience. The rain itself isn't too bad yet, but there's wind building up, which peaks in about 3 hours, and I can get to the place I'm going in about an hour from here. So I've decided that makes the most sense. There's a breakfast at the other end, I am hoping. Just the Callanish Visitor Centre, the Callanish Visitor Centre. The gusts are the real issue. I think I'm through the worst of the mountains, but holy shit. Not a very scenic part, I'm afraid. Quite badly by articulated lorries. This is the first camper I've seen. Not dreadful. Yeah, the lorries are very tough. They really shove me to one side in this bad weather. I have to sort of hunker down as they pass, and I've got a car behind me. I can hear the engine slowing. Conditions are so grim, and I'm certain of a charge at my destination, which is one of the pods near Callanish. I'm doing this on tour, so that's taking a little bit of the pain out of it, and more importantly, it's probably knocking 20 minutes off the trip because it's easier to maintain a much higher average speed. At 9 o'clock in the morning, by the way. I set out around 8. Oh, Jesus. So I'm hoping the traffic dies down shortly, because that's probably a rush hour of people getting to and from work. Morning. 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 Yeah. Cathy, that's Langleford. Wind farms. That generally means you're at the top of the windy bit. Oh no, just electricity pylons. Oh. coming out of the mountains with Stornoway ahead, but I'm going to be turning off to the left for Callanish at some point soon, I think. And I suspect that brings me through some more hills at least. But that mountain bog country is very long. I've been in that all the way from Tarbert. There's no shops, no pubs, no restaurants. High wind and rain. It's not ideal. But you can't have good days without some bad ones. It is Scotland. And this could be worse. And may well get worse in the next hour. There's something big behind me. Yeah, they're much easier to deal with when they pass me at 30 rather than 70 on the other side of the road. This is the busiest stretch of road now I've had for 3 days, but it's probably because I'm cycling it at this time in the morning. It was very quiet last night when I was cycling the other section after 7. I normally try and stay off the road around rush hour for that reason, but can't do that today because of the winds. Oh, look at the hill on the other side. I'm also pretty cautious about speed. I'm doing 37 at the moment, which is a bit too fast for my liking on this road, because not only is it wet after a long dry period, which can make roads very slippy, There's also a lot of gravel. Yeah, here we are hitting some now actually, and I'm kind of trying to stay in the car track, which is the only bit of the road that doesn't have lots of gravel in it. It's fucking hard work. You have to keep focus. I had an incident last night where there were some very freshly laid loose chippings in vast amounts on a steep downhill, and I didn't realise that's what I was hitting until it was too late, and I was already doing about 34. And as I was desperately trying to slow down, I didn't lose control as such, but I couldn't steer very much at all. So the bike just drifted right across the road from one side to the opposite side. I was coming down the wrong side of the road as I was desperately trying to get the speed down and steer back very slightly. There was a car coming down the hill, like quite a distance away. But, so by the time they got to me, I'd rectified it. But I could see the driver was going, Jesus. They obviously saw what was happening, all right. Loose chippings are a disaster on a bike, because the other thing that happens is when cars go through them fast, they spray them all over the place and you get hit by them, which is a bit nerve-wracking. I mean, generally below the knee, but you wouldn't want to get one in the eye. My legs are fed up with hills after yesterday. I did a big distance, a lot of it on hills. Absolutely stunning scenery. But yeah, quite a trip yesterday was, particularly the second half of it. Okay, my turn is somewhere after this town. I'm going to go up the footpath here for it. This road's very narrow for the amount of traffic on it at the moment. I don't like going really slowly up hills with traffic lining up behind me. Alright, now I'm pretty sure my turning's to the left, not the right. I think it's too soon as well. Can't get through, but I could get Harris Tweed. They're probably not open anyway. They probably just leave that sign there. I think that could be the turn. I need to pull in and check my phone, which when it's this wet I can't leave it on the handlebars because the charging port gets flooded. Very waterproof, impressively so. We've even gone swimming with it. What happens is the charging port floods and then you can't recharge it till it's dried out, which if you're running low on power isn't great. And it's still raining. Okay, quieter road. Prettier road too, I'm hoping. In that last section. Yeah, I've nearly shot this entire trip in time lapse. It's more efficient with batteries, and actually GoPros are very hungry battery wise. I have 4 batteries. They probably only, on time lapse they probably give me 6 hours a day, and on video they probably give me 3.5 hours, 2 3/4. Time lapse also looks more exciting, but I think the videos capture the atmosphere a lot better. So I should probably start shooting a bit more. You're a test to see how long the battery goes. Now, all right, race. No, not too bad. That's interesting. Possibly it's going slower. The ones that pass me in the main road are going very fast. You'd have seen the bike go, you know, probably a third of a metre from side to side. A pizza shed, also not open. Probably a bit early in the morning for pizza anyway. But I wonder if they're open. Yes, because actually, if they are, they might be close enough to pop back here this evening. Probably only a 15-kilometre round trip, maybe 20. Maybe 30. Another fish farm. thinking next year I might cycle Iceland, although you can't really bring electric bikes on planes, so I'd have to probably rent one there, so depending on costs. I think you can bring them on planes without the battery attached, although they're quite heavy. So if I had an address in Iceland, I could order a battery too. It'd have to be new. They only allow you to post them if they're from manufacturer. It will be possible. I presume, so if anyone knows they can answer this in the comments, I presume a discharged electric battery would be safe enough. You know, that the danger is in the actual capacity of charge being held, which would be a lot if it's all released at once. I guess they'd have to check. This battery now has 8 kilometers estimated, although that will drop radically if we hit a hill. So generally once I get down to about 5, I swap them out if there's a safe opportunity to do so. I did have one on this trip, just went completely, they'd stop showing a range. They don't actually cut out, so you've probably still got a coasting range of a kilometer or so for that reason. But look at all those rain-covered mountains. I came up the east coast, which is the mountainous route. The west coast is beaches. And actually I just realised that of course the same is kind of true on north and south east. I don't think the mountains are as big there, but it's quite, there are mountains on the east coast. And of course once I went up right to the north, there were some substantial hills to cross. Radical differences in battery range. I've been thinking about that. Although today it's because I'm running into a... and have been since last night. So actually it's probably still done quite a good range, all things considered. 30, 25, 55, and I'm probably another, yeah, probably I've got about 75 on hilly territory with it largely being in tour mode. My legs are definitely rebelling a bit this morning though. Like, what is this nonsense? We don't want this. The ideal camera for doing this would be some sort of intelligent thing. You could say pivot left, zoom in, and I could show you the mist-covered mountains that are all off on the left-hand side in the distance. I presume the ones I cycled over, in fact. giant cycle lane pedestrian route. It's both incredibly uneven and covered in gravel. Forgive the interruption. I had to change both the bike battery and the battery on the video went flat, which is why it suddenly cut out, and I spotted a bush shelter, so I thought, oh, that's one way of keeping everything dry as I do so, because the bush shelters here are all enclosed. So back on the road. Callanish is just down the road. Callanish. I suppose I'll find out quite shortly. I suspect more Callan than Callan. That for a road ahead. Oh, quite a crosswind on this bit. Coming at me. Nice. Stand by for the shockwave. No high sides on that one. It was empty. the right hand side. Looks like it might be, doesn't it? No, it's some sort of marker. Figure 8. Curious. I must look it up on Google Maps later and see if I can find out what it is. Wouldn't mind seeing some deer. Come on. km/h. Better be a bridge and not a cattle grid. Something huge behind me. Wonder what it'll be. See, so we must be getting close. Fresh wave of rain coming in as well. Actually the wind dried off quite a lot since the last one though. something else big behind me. Maybe just a big noisy car. Oh yeah. There's one of the bush shelters on the left and yet with the yellow roof. I'm hoping I get to do that left-hand turn at some point in the next 24 hours. The rain eases, even if it doesn't, maybe. This is a cattle grid. Slow. Only opened 5 minutes ago, so I've got rather a well-timed arrival here. So I'm now leaving Callanish. Great location. The Callanish Farm Trust, which I've just seen from a sign, was gifted to the community by the University of Edinburgh in 2007. Run a couple of, I think 3 pods in total, a couple of 100 metres down from the visitor centre. That's where I stayed. Excellent location if you're thinking of coming here, because you can literally pop up and down to the stones in a couple of minutes, so you can wait out storms, get the right light conditions, etc. Do a sunset or a sunrise, and there's quite a view out to the bay as well. And yeah, so I had a look at weather forecast last night, and I saw that the wind, which has been blowing from the south and the southwest the last few days and giving me a helping hand, is due to switch around to blowing from the north at the weekend, which will do the opposite. And there's quite a demanding road coming up from that I'm going up to the north coast, a lot of hills and stuff. So I've decided I'm going to head to the mainland again at Ullapool today, and try and get that section of the road done before the wind switches around. I was meant to be going right up to the northwest corner here, but there wasn't really anything up there I wanted to see beyond, well, there is a heritage centre actually I'd have liked to call into, yeah, I mean there's a couple of beaches, but as you can probably see it's really not beach weather at the moment, it's quite cold. So I think, yeah, being clever is better than sticking rigorously to the plan. I always feel a bit guilty when I deviate from the plan, but that's the way life is. Anyway, I'll be switching back to the road again once we get to the top of this hill. I've been time-lapsing on this bog road for a while, but I thought it might be nice to do some actual video. joining on to a slightly busier road. I'll run the video for another couple of minutes, see where this goes. It's not much busier. I saw one car and none at all on the one I've just come off. Back to time lapse. Shoot a little bit of phone video.